Ali Akaak is lecturer in business and tourism management at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Oman. Holding a doctorate from the University of Exeter, he boasts over 15 years of experience in academia. Ali Akaak's research interests span strategic planning, destination management, tourism development, labor unions, and social entrepreneurship. We all know Oman because of the heritage orientation. Let's see what you think about that and how you present your country. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Akaak for the great invitation to be here in Italy. It's my first time, actually, and especially the north of Italy, and just had an experience about, which is the first time I know there's like South Tyrol. This part different from Italy. So anyway, I don't judge it, which was a good experience, something to learn about. We had the same thing back in Oman, people in the south and the north, all this. So first of all, it's my honor, as you know, that because of the topic, I decided to wear an Omani outfit, which is our traditional outfit, which is very linked to the topic. So before we start the presentation, I would like to ask, any one of you have been to Oman? Please raise your hand. One. Christian, where's Christian? No. Oh, the border, not counted, just one. No? Okay, it's good. I think it's Christian. He said that, because he lives in Abu Dhabi. So this is a great time. So to learn something about Oman, it's difficult to cover everything about Oman in 15 or 20 minutes, but at least I'll give you some snapshots that you have a plan to visit. That'll be great because Oman has a great culture and nature. So we have one, so I'll go first, sorry. Okay, so my topic is about, as you can see, balancing authenticity and modernity. So this is a big topic, how we can balance between how to keep your legacy and the same to cope with the modernity, how to cope with the technology. So as you can see, this is going to be to Oman or is going to plan. This is the best place you're going to visit. This was one of the main landmarks. It's called Al Alam Palace, where the Sultan resided. So it's in the old Muscat. So you know about this one. So you can go there and take some photos. So nice to go there. It has a nice yard outside. Okay, so as you know, there's Oman. What is it? I'm not, for one, is good in geography. So Oman, everybody maybe knows about Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Oman is a really nice country, but not being exposed that globally. But when someone been to Oman, then he said, I'm falling in love with the country because of the culture, the people, the food, all that. So welcome to Oman, the land of authenticity, culture, and heritage. That's what I like to call. First of all, we're going to give you some information about Oman. We don't have so it's a monarchy. We have a sultan, and also the capital is in Muscat. The population, of course, compared to Italy, are small. We are just 4.7, including everyone, Omanis and non-Omanis. I just checked Italy, as it's nearly 59, so Oman just 4.7. I'm not sure if that's an accurate number, but estimated. But the Oman is more than 50%. We don't a big number, but we are hope. The government's working on that one, encouraging everyone to have more babies. So as you can see, the lands, almost 310,000 kilometers square. Oman has a great authenticity about the number of the people population with Arabs, the majority, Balochis, Southern Asians, Africans, and of course we have an expat from Europe and from America, from Asia, so I have the diversity. The language, so the main languages is in Arabic, then we have in English as the second language, because we teach in English in universities, it's been used as a second language, plus we have other dialects. Those like an expat, you also use Urdu, Balochi, and others. And as you can see, that's, what is that one? I don't want to show you everything here, anyway. And so as you can see, those are from the photos. That's the Oman map. It consists of 11 regions. We call the governorates. So I'm from the south. Those who've been to the south so far, I'm from the south. And north, the peninsula next to the Iran, and we are sharing the borders with Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen. It's safe. Those states how we're close to Yemen, we are safe. Don't worry. Don't think to be worried about. And of course, Al-Wusta, that's where the empty quarter. This is an Omani women in a nice outfit, and that's how we dress. This is one of the occasions, can be a wedding, can be one of the, the religious ceremonies. Of course, as I said, Oman has a nice landscapes. Usually I say, remember, in tourism we say 3 S's, correct? Sand, sun, and sea, correct? In Oman, sea, sand, mountains, and desert. So those are interested in the beach. We have more than 3,000 kilometers, the beach, so similar to Italy. So you don't only have the beach, also in Oman. So the only thing we don't have of over tourism. So you can have the whole beach for yourself. No need to fight. No need to. Some people said, well, I can go first and put the towel. No, just any time. Especially the weekend days. You can have the whole 10-kilometer beach for yourself. You can enjoy it. So no need to worry about this. And also the mountains. We have the highest mountains, which is called the Green Mountain. It's not that green, but it's the highest. It's 3,000 kilometers. And also the deserts. We've been to Emirates, Saudi Arabia, but Oman has a nice desert for camping and for drive bashing, for camp, etc. This is a few photos from different. I couldn't cover everything, but I thought it'd be nice to give you snapshots. This one is from my region. That one is the greeny. It's not a river, it's like a pond, but this is the time that everyone comes to that region. How the tourism being developed in Oman? Of course, it's not just started. Oman is being closed before 1970. I won't give you the history of Oman. It was not that open to everyone because the late Sultan started developing the country from 1970. Before 1970, Oman was closed. They closed their borders. No schools, no hospitals, no roads, nothing. We just isolated from the rest of the world. 1970, the late Sultan came to the power. He took after his father, developed the country, didn't want to open the doors to everyone until the 90s when we start to open. The reason we are not ready to receive. The reason they want to, the culture, still, people start developing into the human capital. We are trying to educate our people, so we cannot just open the door. So in the 90s, the door was a little bit open for international. So you can see from here, that started the first vision is called 2020. From 1995 to 2020, this is the first vision. And you can see we start with a small number of the tourists, almost 200. So the numbers start increasing. That time, we don't have Ministry of Heritage and Tourism. We don't have, it's just a small office. 2004, they established the Ministry of Heritage and Tourism. And since that time, things start to change. Then 2020, the beginning for another era, which was Oman 2040. That Saudi Arabia, they have 2030, somebody thought 2050, somebody in 2020. So Oman has 2040. They have set new goals. They said, until now, so the GDP is not that promising from my perspective. I find that it's not enough for 2.7. Oman should not be 2.7. It should be more than that. But it's things going slow with, how things like to balance, don't get a rush. We just develop all at once. We don't have money, the price going down. So last year, the number of tourists in Oman was over 4 million, the first time. Before the pandemic, 3.2, the pandemic dropped down, so now back, so we're almost 4. We are happy about that one. And, we have more than 700 hotels and resorts. In 80s, there were only 3. And imagine that now we have more than 700, and the numbers is increasing. It's a variety from 5-star hotels, 0 hotels. Airbnb, all this one, I like to call them. So, National Tourism Strategy, driven from Oman Vision 2040, the tourism sector has its own strategy. It's called the National Tourism Strategy. And this one's set. It comes in 3 phases. So the goal is to jump from 2.6 in 2015. So we expect to have around 12 million tourists by 2040. So maybe the number will be achieved maybe before that, but already put that one. And for regarding the GDP, it can be from 2.6 to 6%, maybe to 10, and also no less than 500,000 jobs for Omanis by that time. Then we come to our own topic, which is about, by the way, this is the picture from Jabal Al-Akhdar, the mountain, the highest mountain. It's nice to visit. So how does Oman effectively balancing our balance authenticity and modern? You're going to know about this, modernity. Authenticity refers to the the quality of being genuine, real, and true to one's nature, origins, and value. For example, preserving tradition and local heritage. Here we go. So I choose to have like the small kids from different areas in Oman. So they show the traditional outfit. So this is how we wear, and we actually will learn our kids that you have to keep your tradition. Of course, we can wear jeans and trousers, all this one, but at the same time, you have to make sure that the next generation, they keep that one. That's exactly, it's already built in us, that you cannot just leave your legacy and just move. So you have to keep balancing. So our kids till now, they're wearing our traditional clothes, especially in the ceremonies. This is from the Oman National Museum. You can see some snapshots. So Oman has become a popular destination known as rich history and tradition. Those been to Oman see how, maybe it's a little bit different. Somebody talked yesterday about Dubai and talk about Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, etc. But in Oman has the flavor of that one. Oman is rich of that one. Even we are similar in the culture, but those who visit Oman will see how is the difference between being in the Emirates. I don't like to call it Dubai and Abu Dhabi, sorry, Christian, but I like it as a country. When we compare our country, we compare as a country. So Emirates, I'm sorry to say that, but they are losing their identity by the keeping, the merging, adding stuff, copying, mimic from here and there. If you go to Dubai, which I hate, stay more than 2 nights, because you see everything brought from, because that's their vision. They want to westernize the country. They make it. When you go there, it's not different from Paris, New York, whatever. But in Oman, from the beginning, when they start, no. The first thing, we need to say to preserve our culture, not to be destroyed, not to be changed, so that everything by the law, by the regulation has to keep. Even when we go to work, we must be dressed like this. Kids in the schools and in the work, you have to keep that one. So Oman is it's rich of the culture and traditional. The center of the tourism strategy, that's exactly the cultural heritage. Oman, of course, have the nature and the culture. We have also, the mines, etc., but that comes less in sectors. Of course, when you go to Oman, you can, experience many things. We're going to talk about this later. So this is one of the nice pictures. I'm not sure it's clear. Can you just turn off, the lights? Not sure. So that will help, to show, especially. I hope that's clear. Okay, thanks. Okay, so regarding Oman, forts and castle has more than 500 forts, castles, towers, and villages. And more than over 54 of these forts, castles are open to visitors. And the number of people that visit those places, more than 500,000 till last year. UNESCO heritage. Oman is on the list. We have tangible, intangible. Regarding the tangible heritage UNESCO, we have Bahla Fort, we see up there, and archaeological site Bat, which is just between the two, land of frankincense, where I come from, in the corner, and also the ancient city of Qalhat, and 7 coming soon. Also, intangible, regarding intangible, already 4 in the list. We have Omani Khanjar, or call it the dagger. Also, one of the dance traditional from my region, the side. Then Al-Azi, that's the north dance, or the north in the middle, the guys with the sword and the daggers, and traditional Bedouin chanted, but that's the last. There's already 4 in the list, and the others coming. So this is part, that's the Ministry of Heritage, Heritage and Culture try to keep these things, and the numbers is increasing. Oh, Omani cuisine. Oman, those who try Omani, so we have our cuisines. Also, we are actually influenced by the others because we are sharing borders. And Oman once it was an empire that covered most of the Indian and the African. Of course, you see the flavor, the mix you'll see in the Omani cuisines. So the photo that's in the corner, that's called Omani halwa. That's our traditional sweet. And you call also the skewers, mashakik, we call them mashakik, the skewers. Also, they're really nice flavor. You can use beef, or you can goat or camel. So that one. So Oman traditional crafts, of course, you can see we're still going on, and we have keep that one. There is an authority only focused on to keep, the crafts, and is being, been supervised by the government to keep the Omani legacy in this area, and especially the Oman. Still, many people still working on that one. So you can see, the jewelry, daggers, or they call it the khanjar. Does anyone know where is this place? No. One of these is the famous place in Muscat. You cannot visit Muscat without it. It's called Mutrah Souk, or the Darkness Souk. It's more than 200 years. That's in Muscat. No one can go to, no one without, if you go to Muscat, you must visit this place. Even I don't like it, but it's one of the famous landmarks. It's by Corniche. Yeah, it is. It is. Also, doesn't you're the only one been to Oman, so I will just help you. There's another souk, what in the middle of Oman is called Nizwa Market. And this is one of the best time for many tourists. It's on Friday, visit the market. People start selling, cattle, cows, this one, and they're calling, that's, it's like an auction. So everybody to enjoy it, and many food's been taken. This one from my region is called Al-Hafa Souk. It's more than 150, and we are famous for the frankincense. I would call it Luban. It comes from our region. Then we move to the second part of this presentation about modernity, how I'm being developed this part. As you can say, modernity is the quality of state being or appearing to be modern, or investing in infrastructure and creating world-class facilities. Okay, so here, it's part of impressing the modernity in tourism. You'll see the Omans like to keep, cope with cannot just keep with that legacy. You have to also cope with the technology. You have to cope with the world needs. And especially the people want to stay in 5-star hotels. You want, have a nice, a good airports, to add something of that. So those photos from different areas, that's the first before Burj Al Arab. Burj Al Arab in Dubai. This is hotel before that. It's called Qasr al-Bustan. Qasr al-Bustan, it was considered to be like a 7-star. It's only for delegates built by the government. That's Oman Airport, the new one, and that's an opera. We'll talk about this one later. Okay, so to cover sustainability, in the top of the 3,000 meter, there is a nice mountain called Jabal al-Akhdar, and there is Alila Hotel or Resort. So when they build that one, they make sure that take from the area around. So you can see that's how the way, the structure, the hotels, of course, it's expensive. Maybe one night, 600 euros, or maybe more or less, depends. So sometimes you're full. It's really nice. In the top 3,000, you have a nice villa or a room, and we have that's called this, a grand wadi or the canyon, like the one, you call it one, it's 3,000, and you have a nice landscape around. Another example, Sixth Sense Ziggy. That's in the north, the peninsula was this is my favorite example of sustainability used with in my classes. So my students say this is the best sustainability, and how they mix between the Omani, the culture, and mix it that one, how they build it, and everything being sustainable regarding helping with the community and also the environment. Then a new project is coming up. It's called Sultan Haytham. So our current Sultan is named Sultan Haytham. The late Sultan was in Qaboos. He passed away 2020. Who can be considered the founder. His cousin now is the ruler. And they come with a new city. It's called Sultan Haytham City. It's like a smart. This is a big project. Make sure that from the beginning, that will be the 15 million square meters, 2.9 million square meters for the green space, population around 100,000. It's not started yet, but this is how we're going. This is a big project. So incorporate advanced infrastructure and technology. Oman balancing authenticity. regarding maintain the culture, we can see in the mini project. That is the main thing. The Ministry of Housing, you cannot just be approved to build anything without that. You make sure that you must integrate that. You know, Omani culture, they have own style. We have our own style. You cannot change it. Maybe you can change it, but still you have to show the Omani style in your build, either your house or you building your, you have your own company. I mean, store or something. Implements eco-friendly practices to protect natural and cultural resources. Initiatives empower local communities being involved as well. So many decisions being taken by involving local communities. Focus on restoring historical sites. Have seen many forests and villages being restored right now, and introduce modern amenities and infrastructure. Nothing comes without challenges, of course. To make that, if you're still going to preserve the heritage, what a modernity, that's a big question. And also it's, how are we going to preserve that one? Of course, you cannot just keep living the past and leaving the past and move to the future, the present. You have to balance that one. But of course, everything's come with a cost. So opening to international tourism can be another that will affect or impact our heritage. Everybody's talk about over-tourism and has seen many countries, they open their doors and they lost their identity. They have to destroy many places with the heritage to build a new nice stores or hotels or this one, or they destroy the beach and because of that. So culture, authenticity, and modernity, preserving culture, authenticity while modernizing. It's, as I said, how we can balance these two. Tourists support the economy, but can threaten traditional practices, meaning the new generation being actually influenced with this one. Everyone wants to be where, they want to talk, he wants to be like, because the influence being, received from tourists. Risk and homogenization, of course, you want to be unique, so this is another thing you have to keep developing. Okay, so what are the strategy? So first of all, we have community involvement. This is the most important. You cannot exclude them from your decision. This is the things, but Oman already from the beginning. Communities already involved all the projects. Sustainable practices should be also integrated. Policy and planning. Everybody yesterday talking about regulation. You have to regulate, of course. That's the most important, that you keep things under control. Culture, education is already involved in our schools and universities, everywhere, educating awareness, regulation, as I said, and collaborative planning. So balancing in action. So of course, this can be things to integrate contemporary design with traditional Omani elements. Of course, unique blend between the ancient traditions and natural beauty. Over inside, Begone era, reflecting the Oman history, incorporate traditional Omani architecture style. You will see in a few slides coming. Use locally sourced materials, craftsmanship, features Omani culture, decor, and design. Provide authentic Omani culinary and showcase Omani. And this is one of the things. Of course, you know that one. So one is the masterpiece for Oman is called Royal Opera House, Muscat. This is one of the landmarks. So the Royal Opera House was opened in 2011. It's considered to be the preserving the culture. When we go inside, they want to show, of course, the opera is not an Omani style, but they want to mingle it. The late Sultan, he was impressed by the Western, also the old, culture. So about the music, the culture. So we need to build that one. So 2011, this is the opening of Opera House. And the architecture, everything is in Omani style. When you go there, you see everything is in Omani, even the main hall, outside, and even, the corridors. Then the second one, what is it called? Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque, one of the biggest mosques that time in the GCC before Zayed Mosque. It was being Abu Dhabi, Zayed. This one was opened before. So it was open, it's in Muscat, of course, and it was opened 2001. The carpet, handmade by Iranians. It was, I don't think how much it costs, but it's long, it's handmade. It's considered the biggest rug in the world before Zayed Mosque in Abu Dhabi. You can say that the mix of the modernity and it's, of course, for magnificent dome and the Omani style being shown in in the mosque. The second one, which is the new one, which is called Oman Cross Ages Museum. This one located in the center of Oman, not in Muscat, not in the south, in the desert. So that's to encourage everyone to go. When you're going to because there are other places to visit, but this one is just opened recently, last year, March 2023. That's the masterpiece for that one. It's in the middle, it's in the area, and the reason, because they said Oman was built in that area. So the origins, everybody, that's the first place for Omani was in that area. So they built that this museum, and also next to it, Sultan Castle, and next to it, Nazwa, one of the historical cities. So everything's, when you as a tourist go there, you can have around. You can go to a museum, go to Nazwa, to the castle, all this. Then we have a word. This is His Highness Bil-Arab bin Haytham, of course, the Sultan's son. He has his own award, architecture design, Bil-Arab bin Sultan. Every year, this one encouraged Omani youngest architectures and this one design. And the one from the last year, this guy, he won the award because he redesigned the waterfront in Muscat. It already been accepted, now in the process to use that one, his design to be implemented, and then the others is going on. I would like in the end, conclusion, everything, my presentation. Oman's success is a model for balance, intensity, and modernity. Others can copy from us. Of course, it doesn't come from things. It's a long, long process. It's the wise from the government that we need to keep Oman. We keep our identity. We cannot just lose it. If we're going to lose that one, we're going to lose ourselves. Of course, balancing intensity with the modernity in Oman tourism is a challenging, but it's doable. It's not this is not only for Oman, even in other countries. And the future Oman continues to evolve, offering authentic and enriching experience for visitors from around the world. Everyone is welcome to Oman. Also, I will take that opportunity to invite everyone who would like to know about Oman. We have an upcoming conference in October, so be focused on tourism and hospitality. That will be in my area, region in the south, which is the best time for visit Oman. Oman, thank you. Thank you. Okay, sorry. So you like this one? Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
So, thank you, Ali Akaak. One short question.
Oh, God, there's more than one.
Oh, the Travel Foundation.
Thank you so much. That was an amazing presentation in such a beautiful country. It's been on my list of countries to visit for a long time, and it's just moved up to the top, I think. It's amazing. I just had a question about the goals that you mentioned. So by 2040 to double to double the contribution to GDP, more than double, and that 400% increase in visitors. And I'm just wondering how Oman will make sure that as they work towards those goals, how residents' needs will be taken into account in relation to that tourism development. So whether the value that will generate will be also balanced with things like pressure on infrastructure, on water supplies, on energy, etc. And then thinking about that GDP figure, how will Oman ensure that as much as possible of that revenue stays in the economy, benefits local people and businesses? Sorry, that was about 3 questions in one. But
yeah, it's okay. So as you have mentioned that we have Oman Vision 2040. It's not only for the tourism sector, it's for the whole country. And from that one, in that Oman 2040 vision, they are focused now, as you know, Oman is a frontier, we are more rely on oil and gas. So the government doesn't want to rely anymore. Okay, reduce the percentage. So far they were, before the vision, it was like 70-80%. All the income come from the oil and gas, and the other services sectors like less. But now they want to change. They want to increase the number, reduce that one. So when they come up with the 2040 vision, it covers all the sectors, the whole things, and they built on 3 pillars. I don't have time to show, but I can share with you that vision. But I'm taking one sector, which is the tourism. Of course, tourism cannot work along with the others. So the government or the people, or now they're following the implementation of that vision. It started from 2015 and will continue to 2040. So it divided into 3 phases. So all the sectors will work together. So tourism, mining, gas, oil, everything will go together. And already they set that by 2040, that we hope that we will achieve 10% as GDP and 500,000. So the three phases, the first phase, they will have like this number of hotels, this number of this one, and the clusters. Actually, Oman is divided into 11 governorates. So all the governorates, they have projects. And 2 years back, even the governors, they have now more autonomy that they can have a budget, they can build. No need to go back to the center, the capital. They have their own money, they can develop and started competition. Everyone has need to, how many hotels you are building, of course. They change a little bit. So all these things is going side by side to achieve the Oman goal in 2040. So of course, until now we cannot see because one of the obstacles was the corona. Oman is in deficit like the other countries. So that will hand us a little bit back. But now we are going again. But still, the vision is there. There's a slight change a little bit in some projects, but that not affect the whole program. The whole vision, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Destiny. Michael?
Thank you. Thank you for this presentation. Wonderful country. I enjoyed the presentation. I have a more general question, which is not directly related now to Oman and so forth, but more to the audience in general.
Yes.
I'm wondering, and you may answer as well this question, I'm wondering now, being here the second day in this conference, that everybody takes for sure that the tourism industry is growing as it is, as we know it so far. That meaning, we've seen it with the Uffizi's today, this morning, that more and more tourists will come to see paintings and so forth, art, that even more people will come to destinations here like you're preparing your country for that. So why is this belief that everything is continuing as it is? Why not thinking, what if, I'm just asking, what if in 2 years, there's a technology that says people, or even happening something like COVID, but maybe there's also a technology that says we don't need to travel to this destination. So maybe Uffizi's is coming and neural experience like Tesla is giving us, that we experience those paintings in our brain and we don't have to go there. I'm just hypothesizing about something like this. I'm just wondering why everybody is doing like this, and even in a tourism conference, that everything is going well like this as it does or did in the recent decades.
So we understand that you don't need to be able to travel when they can use technology. They can see all this. Is it, if I'm not wrong, correct? Why people have to travel?
No. Well, what I'm questioning is, why do we assume that tourism will be the tourism of the last 100 years? Having the ambition to travel to your country or to Italy or wherever, why not that there is something happening, even a value chain, that people say, we can't continue. We have seen yesterday with Becker's talk, there has to be a change somehow, right? Either we as people, as tourists worldwide change, right? Mm-hmm. Or even yesterday with Kurt's talk. I mean, it's no way that this kind of over-tourism is continuing. Even if you have a tourism management, I'm sure it's not going to work out. So I'm just questioning, let me put it differently, is there any thought in your vision, a scenario, what if the tourist doesn't look like as it looked like the last 100 years? What is Oman doing?
Well, that's a good question, thank you. And actually, the things that I would like to answer on this one, it's already involved in Oman that we have already think about it. So it's like we have a 2040 now that think about what's after. Shall I put, I have to push that. Okay. So as I said, now we have this vision for 2040, and already this is how they are forecasting, say that this is the number. Maybe they'll be covered earlier. One of the things I want to mention, even with that vision, we focus on responsible tourism. And in Oman already involved that we don't have many people, we don't want, like comparing with the others, we say we want to be like Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is now open the doors, like more than 50 million people already, this come to Oman, to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, this one. Oman said, no, we don't want that one, we just a small number. We believe that people are more interested in Oman. This is like a new thing. So the tourism is going on. We can't just escape it. We can't say now people stay home. No, people starting traveling, want to see more about the world. Some of you never been to Oman or to maybe GCC countries, but maybe have this dream. Maybe see someone. I think the tourism will continue. People will start traveling. Over-tourism should be controlled. We cannot just open the doors. Maybe this is the consequences of, if you open the door, it will lose, the money, but at least you're keeping yourself safe from other influences.
Thanks. Maybe a short answer also from my side. So yesterday morning, I tried to point out that we have started a war over survival of mankind. And so I think after lunch we will have this discussion about that. So I think a lot of these discussions are, I would dare to say, naive. In 2050, there will be almost no more leisure tourism because the global economy is crashing and there will be almost nobody able to spend money on leisure tourism. We are fighting for survival, so there will be no more air-conditioned or these fancy things. This is what has not been realized in this discussion until now, and I hope that after lunch we have a chance to discuss that. So all this is dreaming that we can go on in the global economy and in our luxury life, at least for people like us, the luxury life as it has been. I mean, just briefly saying, we do have to realize, just one indicator, how many people have ever in their life used an aircraft? 1 billion. So 7 out of 8 billion people never in their life had the opportunity and the money to use an aircraft. So we have to be careful when we talk about global tourism, international tourism. We are talking about 15% of mankind. But so I think this is something where all our nice plans, what will happen in 2050 or 2080, this is nonsense. This is pipe dream.
Oh, that's it? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.